Hey friends, so I wanted to share a little bit about the evolution of the logo. I think I talked about it in the pilot a little bit, but I think seeing is believing. And, I'll put it on the screen right here, but I really wanted to take you through the process from start to finish. So, starting with You Movement, it started off with paying somebody on Fiverr to create the logo. And looking back at that, I think that's really silly. I really believe that if you have a vision for your business, you are fully capable of creating things on your own. And I really feel like the logo that I have now is 10 times better than anything I could have paid somebody to do. And I did it in like 5 minutes. So take that for what you will. But, I started with You Movement. During COVID 2020, I was doing some personal training because I took some leave from the airline industry and, fully dove into the personal training side of my passion. And it was really fun. It created this community where there was lack of during a very difficult time. And I was going to just use that inspo for the podcast. But it didn't really feel right. Even though similar concept, it being about you, I didn't like the logo. I mean, you guys can see for yourself. Really, the inspiration behind that is you're moving upwards in life and elevating constantly. And the little digital lines are the fingerprints for you. So that was the idea behind it. It was there, but it wasn't executed or delivered the way that I had envisioned. So then I landed on To Be Continued. I actually went to a coffee shop with a friend of mine when I first moved back here to Florida, and we were talking to random strangers about the podcast, and he asked me, "What is the title of your podcast?" And I was like, "To Be Continued." And that wasn't the actual title at the time. I just meant like To Be Continued. I hadn't figured it out. And he was like, "That's a great idea. I love the name of that." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, smooth operator, that's me. I thought of that." No, I hadn't, but that was it at the time. And that leads me to this now interesting original cut for what I was expecting to be the logo. And it just felt busy. It felt like there's too many pieces there. I think less is more when it comes to business and branding. And I learned that over time. And then I landed on the TBC for To Be Continued. And I was obsessed with that from colors. It felt very feminine, but it also felt very me. But again, did not print onto clothing, I feel like, effectively. Like, this is simple. This is a little more busy, but it's a patch, so you can make that work. I didn't see it on things other than maybe a mural in an office or a headquarters. And that's really jumping the gun there, you know what I mean? So then I went back to the drawing board just this year and was playing around. And as you can see, it started one way and it really, really grew into something else. It felt busy again. It felt like I was overthinking it. And so I dialed it back and I realized less is more for this one. So we landed on the brain, the universe, and just having that circular motion just to keep things flowing, because it's always generating, right? We're running on fuel. So yeah, that is the evolution of the logo. And the one takeaway from sharing this that I want you to have is that, gosh, nothing's overnight. Great things are never immediate, despite how social media maybe presents things. So remember, if it means something to you, you'll make time for it. I think Nick Bare says that all the time, and it's just so simple but effective. And I'm making time. It's time to finally just put it out there and share it with the world. And if you like it, great. I appreciate the support. And if you don't, that's okay too. Find something that makes you happy. But yeah, so keep working at what is important to you. Don't ever give up on your dreams. And more importantly, believe in yourself. That's the hardest part, I think. And I'm guilty of doubting myself occasionally, but why we do that. That's just rude of us to do to ourselves. So let's stop doing that. And I'd love to hear what your goals are. If you'd like, please share in the comments something that you've been putting off, but you always return to. That's kind of how I measure things that are important to me. If it comes back to my brain like 3 times, then it's important. So I'd love to hear about it. Please put it in the comments. And if you've been working on a project, feel free to DM me and show me what you've been working on. I would love to just be that support for you, and encouragement and accountability. So with that said, bye friends. And don't forget to tune in Monday for the next episode, the first official episode. It will be longer, so I'm excited to share that with you. Have a good night.